What's up, YouTube? Micah here. Welcome to the channel. On the last video, if you didn't check it out, I did my everyday carry backpack. So figured after talking about that, most of my stuff that I carry and bring with me everywhere and how I get around is in my truck. So I wanted to do a truck EDC video. And then I was thinking a little bit more about it, and I've got quite a few different mods on the truck. So this is going to be a EDC slash Tacoma mod video. So I'm going to break it up. It's going to be a two-part series. So this one's going to be the interior stuff. So it's EDC interior and mods. And then the second video will be exterior. So exterior mods and stuff that I carry. The bed, what's back in the bed is going to be part of the exterior. So apologize if you're only interested in the EDC and not the mods, or vice versa. You're going to have to catch both. There's kind of a lot of overlap between the mods and the EDC stuff. So I'll break it up into chapters so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to watch. But yeah, this will be the interior portion. So let's get into it. All right, so it's super bright and sunny. So I moved the truck in the garage. But we'll start here on the driver's side and just work our way around. So starting here, you'll see I did the seat jackers. So Desert Does It, I think, is the originator of this. This is just a knockoff. Really, it's a chunk of metal, so I figured the knockoffs would be fine. But yeah, if you're on the fence about the seat jackers, I definitely recommend it. You can imagine here, if those weren't there, the seat would be more like this, which in turn would make your legs more like this. And it's not a night and day difference, but definitely makes the ride a little bit more comfortable. While we're down here in the footwell, I upgraded the floor mats. So I went with Max Liner. I actually prefer these over the WeatherTechs. You can see on Amazon, I actually left a review. Probably find it out there somewhere. But I just like these because it has a little bit higher of a sidewall here, and the material feels pretty nice. And they've definitely held up well over the last 3 years. Moving here, I upgraded, went with the Pedal Commander. So Pedal Commander, really all that does is just increase throttle response. It doesn't do any sort of performance enhancing by any means, but it definitely makes the accelerator a little bit more touchy, which I prefer. Looking here, I did the VLEDs, so just some footwell lighting, which you can see there. Definitely adds a little bit of like a luxury touch, and it's cool because these lights operate with the opening and closing of the door. So when you open it, they turn on. When you close the door, they turn off. And while you're driving, and you can control the settings for this, but there's an ambient light. So if you drop something while you're driving, or your passenger, that you're able to see what you dropped. And if you're curious, that ambient lighting is actually the exact same color, temperature, and brightness as the charging area here. There's a light that's in here. It's like the exact same, so it looks like it's factory with that lighting. While we're here in the driver's seat, I upgraded the badge here. So I did a chrome delete for almost everything. So chrome delete on the door handles, chrome delete here. I did a chrome delete with this little ring right here. I did the same with the air vents, and then I also chrome deleted the exterior stuff as well. But yeah, that's that. As far as in here, I did little cup holder inserts, just these little cheapy guys. I'm super into auto detailing, so you can actually see over there some of my like auto detailing stuff, but super into keeping everything pretty clean. So trying to, maintain top quality of everything. So those little inserts. You'll notice here I have a hydro flask, so I upgraded the cup holder to be able to accommodate hydro flasks. So if you want to do a Nalgene or a hydro, this expanded cup holder, which all you have to do is lift up the center console. There's a whole procedure, but then you remove the factory, then you install this expanded version. And then I also cut out my own little inserts for that. I used to keep my water bottle in this thing, which this is just like a cup holder insert, so you're able to fit your hydro there. I just kept this because if your passenger in the back has a hydro or whatever, they can do that stuff there. But this is definitely a better upgrade having this, and you're still able to access like all your buttons and everything. So pretty cool with that. While we're looking here, I upgraded the gear shift. So this gear shift, mine kind of got dinged up here, so I replaced that. And then coincidentally, the stippling on this perfectly matched the stippling on the steering wheel, which my steering wheel is also upgraded. I did a stitch on steering wheel cover. So this is not factory. This is a stitch on steering wheel cover, which you can see, and I'll drop a couple photos of like what you have to do to do this, but you have to like take off the airbag, and then it looks more complicated than it actually is. Like, I'm no seamstress or anything, but it's pretty easy to stitch on. It's not super perfect. This kind of doesn't, this is supposed to like be a little bit further in there, so you can kind of see the lip here, but when you just look at it, like, you know, from this way, it looks like it's totally factory. So everything else lines up super nice. So highly recommend that upgrade. It feels like super premium and nice. So as far as some more mounts up here, so I did a phone mount here, and then that's the ham mount. So you can see those super streamlined and slim. I didn't want a bunch of like boxy stuff up here, and it's not like I do anything crazy beyond that. So that's that. I did a screen protector just on my screen here to prevent getting scratched up with that. And then as far as the center console is concerned, I did a cover for this. So just a little Amazon. It's kind of cushioned, so it's a little bit nicer on your elbow. As far as inside of here, I won't go into every little detail, but I did this insert or divider to keep this a little bit more organized. So I have a large flashlight, a external battery, another little flashlight here, external battery there. This is where I keep my handheld ham. So got a little Baofeng, I forget the number, but little Baofeng Handheld HAM radio. If I can get this back in here, won't worry about that. This is just a little speed loader for, I have a Ruger GP100, and I like to to bring my wheel gun every now and then, so I just keep that in there. And then I also have a backup magazine for my Glock. I keep some quarters. This is something that I recommend people do, is just some quarters for like parking meters. I've done that several times where these came in handy. And then just some other miscellaneous stuff in there. So that's it in the center. Speaking of the ham radio, don't think I mentioned it, but this is a Yaesu FTM 400. So if you're not familiar with ham radios, you need a technician's license to operate one. If you don't want to get the technician's license and just want to listen, you're more than welcome to do that. But if you want to actually transmit, you have to get your license. Pretty easy test, honestly, but you know, take some dedication to want to do that. But as far as the Yaesu FTM 400 ham radio crash course, he has a channel, and this is the radio that he runs, so that's why I went with this one. That guy knows everything about ham. This is a super solid radio, and definitely recommend it, but I keep it down here when I'm not using it, and it's on a magnetic mount there, just with the cable stuffed in the box. And then on this mount up here is where I keep when I'm actually using it. So just tuck it down here when I'm not. As far as that's the head unit, obviously, but then the actual ham is under the seat. And I'll drop a couple photos here of this. You might be able to see it right there. But there's actually some holes in the existing seat that make it really easy to mount that. So that's just mounted under the seat. And then I keep a couple antennas tucked in right here. So this antenna is for the Yaesu, and then this extended antenna is for my handheld ham. So I just keep those tucked back in here. And then with the mic for the ham, that is right here. So I just glued a little mount here for this guy here. Super easy to access, and it just looks pretty cool chilling right there. So yeah, ham definitely pretty sweet to have. It's cool with the having the handheld and also my truck mounted one. When I go on road trips, I mean, there's very few people I know that have a ham radio, so I'll give, you know, if we're doing like a convoy up to the mountains or whatever, I'll give the other car the handheld, and then we'll be able to communicate from my truck to theirs. So it's pretty nice to have that ability, so you don't have to worry about cell service and trying to call each other or whatever. So that is that, and I believe that's it for the driver side. So I'll move over to back behind the driver. So just in this little guy, I keep some wet wipes just to clean up messes, and then some trash bags. That's usually for camping. This area is actually kind of like my, I guess you could say, like closet. So I keep an extra jacket, an extra hat. I use these little headrest hooks to keep this stuff nice and organized. And then my everyday carry backpack is right here. So I'll set that to the side. In the center here, I keep a wool blanket. So this blanket's nice for, you know, going to the park. You can throw it down if you're having a picnic or whatever, and then obviously utilize it in like an emergency situation. And then cool thing is this colorway actually matches the little Toyota emblem that I have there, and that was also kind of coincidental. So it's kind of just like a little matching detail. Back behind the seat here, I have a little tool bag. So I'm like the family handyman, so do a lot of fixing around my mom's house and stuff, or friends, family. So I just keep this little tool bag. I won't go through everything, but there's like a impact and drill, hammer, some hardware and that sort of stuff. And this is like my quick grab bag if I'm like running in somebody's house. And then also in the bed of my truck, I have another little toolbox back there, which I'll show you guys in part 2. So you'll notice here also the Max Liner floor mats, which are really nice. As far as, you know, taking a look there, nice and clean. And then also the VLEDs, which the back ones just like Velcro to the seat here. So that's it for this side. So this side here, starting with the door. If you know me, you know that I really like games. So just got an assortment of games here. Got like Phase 10, Uno, normal deck of cards. That's like left, center, right, bananagrams. And there's Monopoly Deal. If you have never played Monopoly Deal, one of my favorite games for sure. Have some sunscreen here. And then I don't always keep this, but I most of the time keep this in here. This is just my little Yeti Cooler. So I've got some soda waters in there on ice, but this is nice to keep just for if you're going to get groceries, or, I mean, obviously drinks and stuff, but if you're going to get groceries and be away from the house a little bit longer, that's kind of why I like to keep this in here. Behind this seat, I keep a Vaultek little safe. So the Vaultek, this is nice for if you know have any high value items that you want to make sure that are secured. It's tethered to the seat, which is locked inside of the safe, and then it's a digital combination, so I won't show you what that is, but once you do that, you open this up and then you have a spot. I mainly use this for my concealed carry pistol. Typically it's on body, but I've been into like courthouses and some other scenarios where I couldn't bring it in with me and I just wanted some extra security. So I run this and then just hold that, it locks it. And obviously, I mean, this is supposed to be like a, you know, metal cable or whatever. Obviously, somebody could, you know, snip it or whatever, but it's better than nothing. So I like to have that. And you can't really tell, you know, obviously you can see something there, but it doesn't look super obvious that that's there. But that is it on this side. And then As far as under the seats, so I know there's storage underneath the seats. I don't keep anything really of note underneath there. That's one area. In the comments, make a suggestion for what I should put under the seats. There's like the original jack, some jumper cables, some other stuff in there. Nothing really cool worth showing, but if you have any suggestions, I'm open to hearing it. Now passenger side here, got a trusty old Spitz, my favorite, cracked pepper, delicious. If you've never had Spitz, they're way better than like David's or whatever. So I like to keep those in there. Got a couple patches just stuck here, and then my Glock. So this is a magnetic mount that I installed here. It's a little difficult to get behind this panel, but if you have some patience, you're able to do it. As far as keeping the gun on this side, why I did that, there's not really a great spot on the driver's side that works well. So you know, I've practiced and like trained, and obviously safety, you have to know who the passenger is if you're going to put it there or whatever. But, you know, I'm not going to give you a lesson on all that, but I've definitely, you know, thought about it, and I take caution with that for sure. Usually carrying on body, but on a longer road trip or whatever, it's nice to have the quick access to that. So yeah, that's where I keep that. Looking at the glove box here, not a ton going on in here. Just a couple pairs of sunglasses, some mechanics gloves, SAS survival guide. This is just nice in emergency. There's some good information in this, some different knots and, you know, plants and that sort of thing. So just keep that on me. I upgraded to, well, this is just a Bible that I keep as a backup, and then I upgraded the cabin air filter to a K&N cabin air filter. So that is that. And then, oh, I forgot to mention on talking about the glove box. So on the driver's side, I actually keep a Magpul Daka pouch. So let me actually come around to the other side because it's a little easier to show. But the Magpul Daka pouch is where I keep my paperwork. So like my registration and insurance information, and I keep that tucked down right here, and I have where the tassel is sticking up like that. So reason I do that is because if I ever get pulled over or anything, I'm able to quickly just grab this, and I have all my information ready to go right here, as opposed to one, reaching over here in whatever instance, I have my gun over there, or reaching into your glove box. I try to make, you know, police officers feel as comfortable as possible. So if I can avoid scrambling around as much as possible, I'm going to do that. So I like to have this just quick access ready to go, and then you can pass your paperwork over to the officer. So yeah, that is that. And then last couple things to mention, interior is I upgraded all of the interior lights to LEDs. So I did these ones. I did, you know, the mirror lights, the other light in the back, which is not on right now. And yeah, that is it. So that concludes the interior tour of the truck. Do you have any other suggestions or advice, or what you would change, or yeah, like I said about the under the seats, if there's any feedback you have, I'd love to hear that in the comments. Everything that you saw in the video will be linked in the description, so check that out. But otherwise, part 2 will be coming up next.